What is up, YouTube? It is Docky here, Docky Style Gaming, and I am here with the missus as we go over, finally, Hogwarts Legacy, a game that I talked about at the beginning of this month as being one of the mainstay games that I plan on covering on this channel for a while. It's always piqued my interest, and it has definitely piqued the missus' interest as well, considering she is a massive Harry Potter fan. And like I said in that video, considering I don't know a single thing about Harry Potter.
Such a travesty.
It is, but since I don't know a single thing about Harry Potter, every time we cover Hogwarts Legacy, I will definitely be having the missus with me to help y'all and me understand a bit more about the game and potentially the lore of the Harry Potter universe. So we're gonna go over some stuff that we really should have probably talked about a bit earlier this month and go over some of the stuff from their site, because we got some new information about the potential release of the game, when we could finally see one of our first trailers in a while after it being delayed for about a year, and just going over some more news and information on the game. So without wasting any more of y'all's time, like I always say, let's hop straight into this info. So first, we're gonna start with some of the news that we just got at the beginning of January, around the 11th, where there's rumors that we're potentially going to be getting a brand new PlayStation Showcase, which I hope is true, to be honest, and is looking likely to be true with Horizon Zero Dawn getting ready to come out. But there's also reports that we will finally be getting a brand new trailer and potential release date for Hogwarts Legacy at that showcase as well. We don't have a release date on the showcase, it's just rumored to be dropping in February. Some are saying very early February, around the 3rd, but it could be a little later than that. And considering we're at the end of January and we don't have a release for their showcase, it'll probably be coming out around the mid-February time frame.
If they were smart, they'd make the game come out around the same time the new Harry Potter movie's coming out.
Like, we'll get into when I think it's going to drop, but there is some other info coming out too. Like, so a couple days ago as well, we got, I want to say on like the 20th? It was the 24th of January. We got rumors that it would potentially be delayed, which I thought was weird, but I'm just like, nah. I know a lot of people were expecting it because we hadn't heard any information on it, but even I think it was the CEO of Warner Media came out and was like, nah, we're still dropping it potentially in summer of 2022. But I think that was pretty expected with most people. Like, I expected August, to be honest, because I feel like a lot of games, especially looters, drop around August. It's either the very first quarter of the year or it's generally the summer of whenever.
Well, September's a big date for Harry Potter in general, because that's when Hogwarts term starts, like in the universe. So if they were going to release it in any month related to Harry Potter, it probably would be September. Unless they're going to do more of like a Harry Potter's birthday type deal. But, because I mean, there is significant
But I mean,
dates,
considering
like
it's
Halloween
Hogwarts Legacy,
one,
I guess, and if it does take place in September, that might be,
I mean, yeah,
the smart route.
That's what I would assume.
If they're going to release it.
I mean, if it's based off Hogwarts, that's when Hogwarts term begins, is in September.
Then
so
that would probably be. But yeah, the reports were Q3 2022, which I say the reports, but I feel like a lot of people probably expected that, just because I feel like that's when it was going to come out, around that time. Honestly, around August. So if it came out in September, no surprise there either. But after we got a bit of that information, we also got some other leaks with like Nvidia. So there was some leaks with Nvidia, and the GeForce had posted a list of games that would be coming out this year, and I want to say even 2023. Now most of these dates could be placeholders, but one of the dates was for Hogwarts Legacy, and it showed either, depending on how it's actually placed, because it's not the correct date format, it could either be coming out March 8th, 2022 or August 3rd, 2022. Again, their date format is really weird, but for the most part, a lot of this is very placeholder-y, so I don't know if this is accurate, but again, if it is around August 3rd still doesn't seem like a bad date. But that's pretty much most of the news that we got from literally just this month alone. So if that's any indication, I do feel like we probably are going to be getting something very, very soon. Again, potentially, it's probably going to be next month with the PlayStation Showcase, if that is in fact happening, which I'd assume it is, but that's around when I expect it to probably be dropping, or at least our new trailer for the game. So now let's take a brief look at the site and go over some of the questions and answers, because I've looked at a bit of it, mainly from the trailer standpoint, and I've looked at some news and info on the game, but the missus has not, so we will go over it all in this video. video. So right when you go to the main site, it talks about the game in general. It says Hogwarts Legacy is an immersive open world action RPG set in the world first introduced in the Harry Potter books. Now you can take control of the action and be at the center of your own adventure in the wizarding world. Embark on a journey through familiar and new locations as you explore and discover fantastic beasts, customize your character, and craft potions, master spell casting, upgrade talents, and become the wizard you want to be. It then goes on to say, experience Hogwarts in the 1800s. Your character is a student who holds the key to an ancient secret that threatens to tear the wizarding world apart. You have received a late acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and soon discover that you are no ordinary student. You possess an unusual ability to perceive and master ancient magic. Only you can decide if you will protect this secret for the good of all, or yield to the temptation of more sinister magic. And then lastly, it says, discover the feeling of living at Hogwarts as you make allies, battle dark wizards, and ultimately decide the fate of the wizarding world. Your legacy is what you make of it. And then it says, live the unwritten.
All right, so you start Hogwarts as an 11-year-old. In general, that's when you get accepted. So I'm wondering if this whole you receive a late acceptance is later on in life, like an older student, or if it means like your birthday's late. But I would assume it'd be the first one, which is weird because
I mean, I don't think we're playing as like 11-year-old children. So I'd assume it's probably later in life. But the whole action RPG element could be a whole thing where we do age up. Maybe we do start as a first year and we play through all 4. Is it 4 years?
No.
At Hogwarts? I don't. Yeah, that's I'm like, I don't know. So I'm just
like going to high school.
Well, no, but I'm saying I don't know.
There's 7 years.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, F that. Okay, I would never want to go to that. Get out of here.
You start at 11.
Okay. That's ridiculous.
You think you go to school for 4 years when you start at 11?
Well, no, but I'm just thinking that's like the high school equivalent. Like Hogwarts is the high school equivalent.
More as like middle school and high school. Like it's a whole.
Okay.
You start at 11.
Well, again, being an action RPG or just an RPG in general, there's places for it to do that if it wanted to, where it could age up our characters as we continue to play. Just because RPGs are meant to be kind of like ongoing live service style games, and it's an open world one, so yeah, we could potentially start at that age and then go forward, but I guess it depends on how long the base gameplay is and the overall story.
Yeah, my bet's on it's an older student who gets accepted, which is weird because you're supposed to be accepted because of magic, like the way that it works. You're known. That's how they know Muggle-borns and stuff. You know, it's a magical king.
But sure.
Okay, so
no.
To be accepted, you have to be magical. And for a Muggle-born, they don't have any ties to the wizarding world, so there's inherently some way for them to know when somebody's magical. So it's not like
they said that this person, the character we're playing, possesses an unusual ability to perceive and master ancient magic.
But that's my thing. Were they not?
Because it says you're no ordinary student.
Yeah. So what my thing is like, so if you don't get your letter until you're later on in life, then that means that
are we humans that?
You're all humans.
Well, no, but I mean, like
Muggles.
What's the difference?
So a Muggle is just a non-magic person, and a wizard or witch is a magical person. But they're both people.
But that's what I mean, though. No, that's like, what's the difference? Like, because isn't the chick a Muggle?
You talking about Hermione?
Yes.
No, she's a Muggle born.
Okay, whatever.
So she's a witch born to non-magical parents.
Okay, but she has powers.
Yes,
therefore,
she's a witch.
Exactly. So what's the difference between Harry if he's
Harry has a pure blood father and
he's
a Muggle-born mother.
But he's still
all human
that has magic. So why is Hermione called a Muggle? Just because they can do the same thing,
and it's because it's racist.
But they can do the. That's what I'm like. So okay, this is why I have never been into the universe. But all that to say is, I'm assuming because of this, what they're saying is that I guess our character is a Hermione type character.
It means that our character
can use magic.
No, it means that our character wouldn't display any type of magic until they got their Hogwarts acceptance letter, because everybody who's a Muggle born has produced some type of magic before getting their Hogwarts letter. You can't go to Hogwarts unless you display magic. So if you don't get a letter, it means you don't display magic, like Petunia.
Thank you for throwing out that name that I have no idea about.
Lily's sister, who was Muggle.
Wow, you're throwing out so many names that I'm just like...
Literally the person who has Harry, the horsewoman. Anyway.
The horsewoman? Now you just throw in even... I'm not getting. I'm already not getting it.
I feel like I should just tell you the whole Harry Potter story.
Yeah, we will do that off stream. I mean, off this video.
You're so uneducated about
I
this.
am.
It's terrible.
So, perfect segue. Hogwarts Legacy frequently asked questions that's on their site as well that go over just about everything. We'll break it all down and go over it too. So it says, the first frequently asked question is, what kind of game is Hogwarts Legacy, which we kind of just went over. It says it's a immersive open world action role-playing game set in the 1800s wizarding world, which puts players in the center of their own adventure. So nothing new there, pretty much to be expected. So moving on to the next question, it says, when does Hogwarts Legacy release? And all it says is that it's going to release in 2022. Again, no actual release date, but hopefully it is sometime sooner rather than later. Moving on to the next question, what platform will Hogwarts Legacy be on? It says Hogwarts Legacy will be available on PS5, PS4, PS4 Pro, same thing, Xbox One family of devices, including the Xbox Series X, Xbox One X, and PC.
So, just a quick question. I don't know if you know or not, but is this a game where you're going to be able to play with other people online, or is it just like a solo type?
I am 100% not sure yet, and hopefully they'll answer that with these frequently asked questions. So we will find out. Next it says, what is J.K. Rowling's involvement with the game? Is this a new story from J.K. Rowling? Is it Rowling's or Rowling? I don't know. Again.
People just call her J.K.
Okay.
Just call her
kidding.
J.K. Yeah.
But I don't know much about her outside of some of the crazy shit she's been talking about on Twitter.
Oh, you mean the boxers for the characters? That was pretty crazy.
Whatever that means. I just know she's been saying some crazy shit. So I feel like they put this out as a PR thing because, again, I know some people either hate her or are just trolls of her or whatever. So like I said, I've seen some of the stuff she said. I'm just like, ugh. So
yeah.
Their answer to that question is, though, J.K. Rowling is not directly involved with the creation of the game. However, her extraordinary body of writing is the foundation of all projects in the wizarding world. And no, this is not a new story from J.K. Rowling. So the game pretty much, too, was just like, we like her work, but she ain't touching this game in any way. And I feel like that's probably where a lot of people stand from what I've gathered is, thanks for making Harry Potter, but don't ever come back to the franchise ever again.
Look, she tried to come back with The Cursed Child, and yes, the play gets raving reviews, but I forced myself to read that playbook, and let me tell you, I have read better fan fiction. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that's why it takes place way before Harry Potter is introduced into this game, because, yeah. Now it says, how does Hogwarts Legacy fit into the Harry Potter wizarding world? And then they gave us the answer, while Portkey games are not directly adaptations of the books and films, the games are firmly rooted in the Harry Potter universe, while remaining true to JK's original work. Portkey game developers chart new territories by creating fresh ways for fans to immerse themselves in the wizarding world. AKA, they didn't give us a direct answer. It's like in a whole side universe. It doesn't take place in the books and it doesn't take place in the films, but I'm sure all the characters and lore is still rooted.
I'll have to look up and see who
universe.
the headmaster was in the 18th century.
Now it says, is Hogwarts Legacy an original story? And they said Hogwarts Legacy is an open world, single player action role-playing video game set in the 1800s wizarding world. The story has players experiencing life as a student at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. That is too long of a name and too many W's.
Oh my
like
goodness.
never before. As they live the unwritten. Embark on a dangerous adventure to discover the hidden truth of the wizarding world.
Hidden truth. Ooh, there's so many hidden truths.
I know, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
like
every movie,
every
I feel like there's a
storyline
hidden
has a
truth.
hidden truth.
The hidden truth.
So many secrets.
That's original. So when they say is Hogwarts Legacy an original story? Sure. It's original. Now moving on to the next questions, it says, how do you play Hogwarts Legacy? The game? Who's asking these questions?
I don't know, but they're most frequently asked, apparently.
I guess.
So.
How do you play? I don't know, with my hands? Anyways, Hogwarts Legacy is filled with immersive magic, putting players in the center of their adventure to become a witch or wizard they choose to be. They will grow their characters' abilities and master powerful spells, hone combat skills, select companions to help them face off against deadly enemies.
Oh, no.
Players will also encounter missions and scenarios that will pose difficult choices and determine what they stand for, which I'm always down for. Always like a good and evil type.
So the select companions. So the whole Harry Potter story at the beginning, when Harry meets like Draco and Ron,
Yeah.
he pushes.
Yep, I'm looking at you like, yep, those are names. When they meet names.
Look, he rejects Draco's hands in favor of Ron. So him and Ron become best friends.
Yeah.
And Draco becomes his enemy. And I did play the little mobile one they had for a little while, and they kind of goes through something similar where you have to kind of pick
Oh, so
your
that's
fan.
what they mean by companion?
I think that's what they mean.
Oh,
Like you're gonna
I thought they meant like a little pet or something. Because doesn't he have like an owl?
He does have
always...
Hedwig, yeah, and like they do have like Hermione has quick shakes and stuff. So like it could be it's a cat. So there could be something where it's about picking their familiars, but it says companions to help them face off against deadly enemies. I don't know. I feel
you might
like
pick a best friend.
Yes, I feel like it's gonna be more along the lines of they're gonna pick a best friend to kind of go through the journey with them.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I mean, that's still not a bad thing, especially if it's a single player game. Hopefully, there is some type of co-op. I feel like it's gonna be
more like God of War, where it's like
if it is,
Kratos
I mean,
the boy.
I can still see it being fun, but it's just I feel like this game, like a game about a school of wizards and witches from all over, or I guess the UK, but like it would lead for a good co-op game. So I feel like there has to be some type of co-op element. That's kind of crazy. But let's move on to the next question. It says, can players choose and switch their Hogwarts houses in Hogwarts Legacy? It says players can choose their Hogwarts house at the start of Hogwarts Legacy. And we'll have more details to share later.
I don't think they should be able to switch them.
Yeah, I don't either.
I feel like if you want to switch houses, you should have to restart the game.
Yep. It makes sense for people to
I just want to point out, y'all, he did the test. He's a Ravenclaw.
I mean, you made me do the test.
I did.
So, and if we want to get technical, all my stuff was like bomb as shit, apparently.
Oh my goodness.
To everybody.
Would you just let it go?
No. You wanted to bring it up. I got a dope-ass glowy
Patronus.
That thing. And my wand apparently was dope as shit too. So, I mean, hopefully they let you link your account because then I can have that in the game. Should be dope.
I hope not.
That'd be fucking dope. A big ass 3-headed snake or some shit
you
like that.
You have a run spore and everybody else is gonna have like a mouse.
Exactly, just eating shit. I don't know how that works.
They don't. They just protect you. They don't eat
Oh,
things.
wait.
And I made you watch the movies too. And
you made me watch those like 7 years ago, and I was already tuned out by the first
There's
one.
no point in even trying to get him to read the books.
No.
It's not gonna happen for him.
I'd probably watch the movies again while critiquing them like crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But
and the thing's it's just moving on.
Next question. Will Hogwarts Legacy adhere to the Wizarding World lore? And it says yes, while Hogwarts Legacy is not a direct adaptation of the books and films, the games are anchored in the Wizarding World lore. Avalanche is creating a unique gaming experience that is inspired by JK's Wizarding World, in which players will find new and unexpected location, characters, and story elements. AKA meaning, I don't know what the hell that means. Wizarding World lore, I just assume they're not going to change.
I mean, the creatures will probably be the same.
Yeah.
Anything that we've learned about any wars they've had in the previous.
Gotcha.
Anything that we've learned prior to the 1800s through what we already have will probably be put in it, which answers my question I just had about them putting family lines in there.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then it says, does this game, or the next question says, does this game take place only in the Hogwarts Castle? Which, no, like, have y'all not been reading these? Okay, anyways, Hogwarts Legacy takes players beyond Hogwarts to new and familiar locations, including the Forbidden Forest and
Hogsmeade.
Yeah, village. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. So,
but that's still very Hogwartsy area. So
I mean,
the students go from the castle to here to buy things, and this is the forest right next to the castle. So this is all still like in the Hogwarts castle area.
I mean, I guess, because again, I don't know.
But
I'm just assuming it's going to be more than that.
I feel like it has to be, just because years ago when we got that little leak or whatever, I'm fairly certain that took place in Gringotts, which would be in Diagon Alley.
That's what I'm saying. The new trailer showed off a lot of different locations, in my opinion. Again, I don't know what any of them are called. They just looked like they were more places than, other ones. Moving on to the last question, because the other ones are literally just all about the company themselves. But the last question says, are Portkey games created with J.K. Rowling's approval? It says, each experience offered under Portkey Games will take place in the Wizarding World and will be authentic to the Wizarding World. JK is supportive of Portkey Games and has entrusted the design and creation of the games to WB Games and the developers involved.
Meaning she's probably just getting a fat paycheck from it
and
handling the
which I'm sure she doesn't mind. She's like, hey, can we make something with Harry Potter? Oh, yeah. All right, give me like $2 million.
No, what you probably do. More, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. So that's pretty much everything that we got so far on the game. Again, hopefully next month we will get some brand new information and hopefully a brand new trailer. But hopefully the game lives up to the hype, because a lot of people are hyped for this game. Like I said, it's not just Harry Potter fans, but just, I guess, fans of just RPGs in general.
It looks good. It looks pretty.
The graphics are good. Avalanche is always pretty good when it comes to their graphics. So the game's always going to look relatively pretty. So hopefully, like I said, this game comes out looking extremely good, playing extremely well.
I'm interested in how the magic's going to work, like how the casting is going to be, like shooting a gun or like.
Well, I mean, we've seen a bit of it in action, and it kind of looked like that, to be honest. Like, they were just like, I don't know. Again, hopefully, whenever we do get our next big reveal on it, it's not just a trailer. I'm hoping it's a gameplay trailer. Like, we're hyped for this game. Definitely want to cover this game, but we need some stuff to cover. So, other than that, I'm probably going to wrap it up. Again, I'm looking forward to the game. The missus is looking forward to the game.
Of course.
So let's hopefully get some new information pretty soon. And be sure to let me know in the comment section if you're hyped for Hogwarts Legacy as well. And be sure to join the Discord if you haven't. Right now, we're currently covering all things Godfall on the channel, but more games are definitely about to start sprinkling in. And we always have helpful people on there, guides, builds, breakdowns, and so much more. We have showcases for other content creators if you want to post any of your videos, your streams, things like that. So if you haven't joined the Discord, I highly recommend you do. But with that, that's all I got. So I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subs. Peace.